Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has had its last wave of DLC for a while now, and with my Mario Kart itch finally fully satisfied, the logical next step is to create another itch on my skin and label it Mario Kart 9. Many people have been wondering how Nintendo is going to tackle the next Mario Kart that will be launching on the Switch's successor, the Switch Max as I have called it. I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe ended off with 96 tracks and 48 characters. That's an absurd amount, and no other Mario Kart in the past has even had close to that amount of content. Maybe this is just how it is. As generations go on, Mario Karts will contain more and more content. But this doesn't really answer the question. What the heck is Nintendo going to do with the next Mario Kart? What modes will be in the game? Who is going to be added to the roster? How many stages will there be? Today, I will answer these questions with just a nod of my heart saying I am correct. I put a lot of effort into my videos and your support means everything, so please consider subscribing to help me reach my goal of 3,000 subs. Let's get started. First of all, what is this new Mario Kart going to be called? Obviously, the logical next name would be to follow the trend of what the series has been doing for the past decade or so. It started off with Mario Kart 7, continued with Mario Kart 8, and will continue with Mario Kart La Tonka. Mario Kart 9 is the most likely choice for the name. However, there is a chance that the name could be completely unique, just like Mario Kart Double Dash and even Tour, and Live Home Circuit. So it could really be called anything. Mario Kart Turbo, Mario Kart Horizons, Mario Kart and Bike, New Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Knuckles, this is where my money's at. But the most likely option is Mario Kart 9, albeit a bit basic at this point. Next, I shall show some ideas I have for the brand new gimmicks this game has to offer. Every other Mario Kart game has had something it added that impacted or made it stand out compared to the rest of the series. Super Mario Kart was obviously the first Mario Kart. Mario 64 added turbo drifting and depth to the racetracks. Super Circuit added free run mode. Double Dash had its main gimmick of having 2 players on 1 kart. DS had mission mode and the ability to make your own custom logo. Wii introduced bikes, half pipes and tricking. 7 added gliding and underwater driving. And 8 added anti-gravity. So what will Mario Kart 9 bring to the table? Firstly, what if every character had their own unique traits that gave them pros and cons? Maybe one character could have a higher chance of getting a certain item, but to balance it out, have a lower chance of getting another. Or maybe characters get impacted more or less by certain items, by being shrunk by lightning for a longer or shorter time, or have an effect that lasts longer or shorter. This would add even more depth to the Mario Kart meta. Now it isn't just about choosing your favorite character or picking if you want a lightweight or heavyweight. You can choose a character that has a higher chance of getting stars, but a lower chance of getting mushrooms, or a character that has more time to use the fire flower, but less time to use the piranha plant. I've thought of another idea that could fix one of Mario Kart's biggest problems, the coin dilemma. Coins in Mario Kart 8 are just annoying ways to fill up your item roulette. I mean, what would you rather have, cash or banana skin? I could avoid the police with this. However, coins are actually a good way to balance the item ecosystem. It ensures that you always don't have a defensive item to protect you, so you aren't always in the lead. But I think we can all agree that coins need a better use, so why not use them outside of races? Introducing Lakitu Shop. Here, you can buy character skins to add to your character roster, and music to add to the music menu. This should give coins a bit more value, and could make you consider actually picking up on wanting coins. I think now is a good time to discuss what characters will be in this game. Mario Kart 8 ended off with 48 characters, which is a good amount, but we can plead. I have made a finalized list of 56 characters that will be in Mario Kart 9. Firstly, these are the characters that I think will return. The ones I have cut are Peachette, Villager, Pink Gold Peach, Baby Daisy and Baby Rosalina, just to cut the fat a little bit. However, the fun lies in the 13 new characters that have been added. Firstly, Nabbit, because he's a Mario character, King Babon, because he's a cool Mario character, Cappy, because he's a Mario character that should be in another game, Goomba, I don't care that he doesn't have arms, George and Chuck to support the cause, Multi-Mole to fix that hole in my heart, Hammer Bro who you can buy skins for, Paratroopa to add a better Koopa, and Boom Boom to add a mad Koopa. Kirby will be added as a racer because everyone likes him, Samus because she rides spacecrafts, Captain Falcon because he is literally from a racing game, and finally, Rob. He was a character in DS and everyone wants him to return, so sure, have him. I'm sure this roster will satisfy most people except for those who want Squizzard to be a playable character. I won't be supporting that, cause. Enough talk about the characters. What about the items? What items will stay? What items will be added? Will the mushroom cannon be added? Firstly, the items that I think will return will be coin, banana, triple banana, green shell, triple green shell, red shell, triple red shell, blue shell, fake item box, a bomb, mushroom, golden mushroom, bullet bill, star, lightning, horde, Bowser shell, giant banana, fire flower, boomerang flower, ice flower, boo, and the heart. That is quite a selection, but it's to add variety to the character traits that I went over. But what about the new items? Well, I have thought of a few new ones. The first idea is the red star from Super Mario Galaxy. What this item does is that it propels your kart straight ahead for about a second or two, going at about 1.5 times the normal speed. Anyone you collide with along the way will spin out. However, you can't steer while in this state, and crashing into the wall will end the effect. There is also the possibility of falling off because of this item, so it's kind of somewhat of a risk-reward kind of deal. The positions you would get this item in is from 5th place to 9th place. Another item I've thought of is the blue shell. Not the spiny shell, the blue shell. The blue shell. Activating this item will transform you and your cart into a blue shell that travels for 30 seconds. While in the shell, you will be protected from one item, but after that you will be back to normal. You can also bounce off walls and then hit another racer once. You can get this item from 4th place to 6th place. Finally, the cloud flower. This item will spawn a tornado that travels across the road for about 7 seconds. It can hit players and also collect any coins in its path, as well as destroying item boxes and obstacles. This idea totally is not taken from Angry Birds. Carts and bikes will be in this game. There will be 3 types of drifting assigned to different vehicles: outward drifting, inward drifting, and snake drifting. Now for one of the more interesting parts, the tracks. What will the new tracks be? What tracks will return? I have a few ideas for some new tracks. You know, this makes me realise that in a decade or two, the Mario Kart series will have an overwhelming amount of tracks. Firstly, how about a stage where you drive through a suburban home? Yes, I also think this is an interesting idea. Secondly, how about an underground cave track? We've never really had a fully cave-focused track before, I believe, which is kind of surprising. Maybe a track can have you driving through some sort of palace. Maybe a palace from Sarasaland. A canyon level could go hard, especially if it's Wario related. A rainforest level could work too. And of course, some fan picks. A Peach's Castle level has some insane potential, especially if it was a section track and you went through the paintings. A level from Mario Odyssey is an interesting concept too. The Metro Kingdom is probably the most likely option. As for the retro tracks, I tried to include only retro tracks that have never been remade before. I have picked 2 SNES tracks from Mario Kart 9, Choco Island 2 and Vanilla Lake 2. Vanilla Lake has never been remade on a mainline Mario Kart, so hopefully they choose this one and make it good. As for N64 tracks, these ones were hard to choose because every single N64 track has been remade except for Wario Stadium, so I choose that as well as DK's Jungle Parkway and Frappe Snowland. I just kinda drew from my hat. The GBA tracks I have selected are Lakeside Park, Broken Pier and Rainbow Road. It's funny because I think I would have preferred it if the Booster Course Pass had Lakeside and Broken Pier instead of Bull Lake and Riverside in the Booster Course Pass. And I picked the GBA Rainbow Road as it could be really interesting to see time trials taking advantage of the bouncy edges. For GameCube, I went with Mushroom City, Bowser's Castle and Wario Coliseum. I hope these tracks are selected because Double Dash is the only Mario Kart I haven't played, so having each track being remade would just be cool. The DS tracks I have chosen are Figure 8 Circuit, Delfino Square and DK Pass. Figure 8 Circuit was the only one not remade, so... For Wii, I chose Toad's Factory, Dry Ruins, and Coconut Mall. Toad's Factory and Dry Ruins were never put in the Booster Course Pass, and I just threw in Coconut Mall in there just cause it's Coconut Mall, everyone likes it. The 3DS tracks are Shy Guy Bazaar, Wario Shipyard, and Woohoo Loop. You get the idea, these have never been put on a console, they would be great, yeah. Now for the Wii U tracks. This is where it gets interesting. I had 4 tracks left to choose. I decided on Shy Guy Falls, Electrodrome, Mount Wario, and Mute City for a collaboration track. There are plenty of other Wii U tracks that should be added, but that's what the DLC is for. The DLC will contain 48 tracks to get the game up to snuff with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This will include a few tour tracks, however not as many as last time. Maybe like 3 city tracks like Athens Dash, New York Minute and Singapore Speedway, along with Piranha Plant Pipeline, as that was the only tour original track that was not added in the Booster Course Pass. The game will be much more customizable than previous Mario Karts, and that's very apparent with the new HUD customization feature. With this tool, you can select what HUD elements appear at what corner of the screen. You can even leave them blank if you really want to, you psychopath. You can move around the position you are in, the item roulette, the map, and maybe even the speedometer or that weird tracking square that Mario 64 had. I have thought of some new modes this game could have. Double Dash mode is exactly what it sounds like, repurposing the system that Double Dash had. This could make character abilities even more in depth, as you could choose 2 characters that have an even better chance of getting the same item. Now you can live in your fantasy of wanting to play with Wendy and PD Piranha at the same time. Destruction mode is a separate mode from the main game, where you're placed in a children's playroom similar to Ribbon Road, and the goal is to fling yourself off a ramp and destroy a tower of Jenga blocks and try to aim for a high score. You'd get 3 or so chances at this. This is also definitely not taken from Angry Birds I Need to Seek Help. The last mode is an add-on you can choose to have in your matches, Challenge mode. You can choose a gimmick to add something like 2 times speed, or item rain, or having fog to cover the map. This is similar to the challenge mode in Splatoon 3, but the difference this time is that you can actually play it. Next, let's talk about the battle mode. Battle mode will be more customizable too, with the ability to turn off the damn time limit. Take that! I've thought of a new mode for battle mode, bumper car mode. Bumper ridges will be placed around your kart, giving it bouncy properties. The goal is to knock off your opponents into a pit to either get rid of all their balloons or have the most points until the time runs out. If a map doesn't have any pits, then laser walls will be placed around it. The battle mode will have 16 tracks this time, with 8 returning from previous games, these being N64 Block Fort, GBA Battle Course 1, GameCube Tilt-A-Kart, DS Tart Top, Wii Funky Stadium, 3DS Sherbet Rink, and Wii U Sweet Sweet Kingdom. And that is all my ideas for a new Mario Kart. Now I should ask the question, when will the new Mario Kart release? People have the mentality of not wanting a new Mario Kart for a while because of how big A Deluxe is, but I think it will still be released in the first year of the Switch Max, probably near its launch window. If you want to see ideas for a new Smash Bros game, click on this video. I also plan to make a Splatoon 3 video in the future. Please subscribe to support the channel as it genuinely means a lot.